Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Last time we met, we talked about how to arrest people and the steps we have to take to make their arrest legal. But today, let's dive into the history of state courts and how the state court was created. And let's talk about how they look like today and what their future plans might be for the state courts. Everyone grab out a notebook and a pencil. I'm about to get started talking about the history on state courts and how they were created. I hope you guys take notes. The U.S. Legal said that in Philadelphia in 1787, the members of the Constitution Convention had created the Article 6 created Article 6 in the Constitution. The article stated that the laws in the United States and all treaties made under the authority in the United States are hereby or shall be supreme law of the land. The judges in the states, are thereby have to follow them, basically what they're saying, and in every single state. This article had a major impact on the citizens because the ultimate effect that it had was it caused the state courts to refrain them from the right to hear and make final decisions on legal matters. It also gave, this was made to prevent the state courts from having too much power. It also gave the federal courts power to keep the state courts in check, it also gave state courts to keep federals in check. This was made to keep all the courts balanced and fair. Now that we talked about the history of state courts, let's talk about what they look like today. Today, or as Frank Schmaler said, every state, or they're not, okay. So there are courts in every state, but every state does not have a court in them because they unified the redundant courts and them with the overlapping jurisdictions. However, there are a lot of states that have differences between them because of the different laws that are in the states. Also, almost every state has an appellate division. An appellate division has a jurisdiction to appeal any case they want to that they overviewed. When they appeal, they look over the case and the facts and evidence and decide whether they should be appealed or not. They can either look over themselves or have a defendant in a case request for an appeal. That then leads to them looking over the case and again deciding whether they should be appealed or not. However, appeals take time. It may sometimes take years for them to happen, which leaving convicted people in jail awaiting for their appeal. This state courts take forever for appeals because they have to deal with courts on top of looking over the case and the evidence. State courts deal with cases like robbery, broken contracts, traffic violations, family disputes, and civil cases overall. Now that we talked about what they look like today, let's talk about what they might look like in the future. As Daniel J. Hall said, they are always improving the courts with new principles to adapt to the new years and eras that are to come. They are also organizing to minimize redundant courts and with overlapping jurisdictions. They are also planning on getting an efficient balance of caseloads throughout the whole courts to make it the timely manner for the appeals be more faster than they are now, because they're leaving criminals in jail, not even but convicted in jail. Along with that, they are also developing and managing a judicial budget. This affects the state courts because state courts have to work in an efficiently manner and still have enough money to work smoothly throughout the legal process. On top of that, they are working towards the people going through cases in a timely manner while keeping current on the oncoming court cases that are coming into the courts. All right, class is almost over. But before I let you guys go, let's recap on what we learned. We learned about the history on state courts. We learned about what they look like today, and we learned about what they might look like in the future. Now that I know you guys learned about what we talked about today, you guys are free to go, and may you have a law-abiding day.